There is a lie that is destroying an entire generation. It's the lie that your 20s are for finding yourself. It sounds romantic, doesn't it? Take a gap year. Experiment. Don't worry about money, just travel. You have plenty of time. That is not advice. That is sabotage. The mathematics of life are brutal, and they do not care about your feelings. The decisions you make between the ages of 20 and 30 contain the highest leverage coefficient of your entire existence. Every dollar you save, every skill you master, and every relationship you build in this decade doesn't just add up. It multiplies. But the reverse is also true. Every bad habit, every year spent drifting, and every ounce of debt you accumulate is digging a hole that gets exponentially deeper every single day. If you wait until 30 to get serious, you aren't just starting late. You are starting with a 10-year deficit against a competitor who has been building a fortress while you were partying. Robert Greene calls this the apprenticeship phase. I call it the decade of design. Today, we are going to go deep. We are going to deconstruct the exact, step-by-step blueprint to turning your 20s from a waiting room into a launch pad. We are going to talk about the things your friends won't tell you, and the strategies the 1% use to secure their freedom before they even have their first gray hair. If you are in your 20s, this is the most important video you will ever watch. If you are in your 30s, this is how you catch up. Welcome back to Wealth Architect. I'm Ben. Here, we don't follow the herd. We design the exit. Let's start with the problem. Why do 90% of people waste their 20s? It's not because they are lazy. It's because they are seduced by what Robert Greene calls the false path. The false path is the path of immediate validation. Picture two people, person. A graduates and immediately takes a job at a prestigious consulting firm. They get a $70,000 salary, a shiny business card, and their parents are proud. They lease a luxury car to match the job. They rent a nice apartment in the city center to match the car. On the outside, they are winning. But on the inside, they are doing data entry. They are learning politics, not skills. And because their expenses are so high, they are terrified of losing that job. They are fragile. Person B graduates and takes a job as an apprentice to a brilliant, chaotic entrepreneur. They make $30,000. They drive a 10-year-old Honda. They live with 2 roommates. Their parents ask, "When are you getting a real job?" But person B is sitting in the room where the deals happen. They are learning how to negotiate, how to sell, how to build a product. They are acquiring the code of wealth. At age 22, person A looks like a winner and person B looks like a loser. But at age 30, person A is burnt out, capped at a middle management salary and drowning in lifestyle debt. Person B has the skills to start a $1 million company and the network to fund it. The false path convinces you to optimize for income, what you get paid today. The architect's path optimizes for equity, what you own tomorrow. And I don't just mean business equity. I mean human equity. The asset value of you. In your 20s, you must be ruthless. You must be willing to look unsuccessful to the world so you can become undeniable to the market. You have to trade short-term status for long-term sovereignty. This requires a system. We call it the 4-stage apprenticeship protocol. Stage 1 is boring, unsexy, and absolutely non-negotiable. It is the foundation. You cannot take risks, you cannot learn, and you cannot negotiate if you are desperate for rent money. If you live paycheck to paycheck, your boss owns you. You have to laugh at his bad jokes. You have to do the busy work. You cannot quit to take a better opportunity because you will starve. So, the first mission of your 20s is to build a financial runway. This is not saving for retirement. This is saving for autonomy. The burn rate audit. I want you to look at your life. What is your burn rate? The absolute minimum amount of money you need to survive. Now look at your status tax. the expensive car, the branded clothes, the drinks at the bar. In your 20s, your status tax should be zero. Every dollar you spend on looking rich is a dollar you stole from your freedom fund. Strategy: radical reduction. Live like a student for 5 years longer than you have to. Get roommates. Cook at home. Drive the beater, the liquidity buffer. Your goal is to save 6 months of expenses in cash. Do not touch it. Do not invest it in crypto. The walk-away power. When you have 6 months of cash in the bank, you walk differently. You speak differently. When your boss threatens you, you don't feel fear. You feel calculation. This liquidity buys you the ability to say no to bad deals and yes to low-paying, high-learning opportunities. It is the fuel for stage 2. Once you have your runway, you enter the hunger phase. Stage 2. Most people stop learning the day they leave school. This is why they stagnate. In the new economy, the ability to learn hard things quickly is the ultimate superpower. We are not talking about soft skills like teamwork. We are talking about hard, commercial skills. You need to build a stack of skills that make you dangerous. Sales persuasion. Can you convince a stranger to give you money in exchange for value? Creation product. Can you code, write, build, or design something that scales? Operations systems. Can you organize chaos into a process? If you have one of these, you will have a job. If you have all 3 of these, you will be rich. How to learn? The deep work method. You don't learn by watching videos. You learn by doing. Green talks about the concept of resistance. When you start learning a new skill, it is painful. You feel stupid. You want to check your phone. You want to quit. This is the dip. The 99% quit at the dip. They go back to what is easy. The architect pushes through the dip. The protocol. The 4-hour block. Dedicate 4 hours every day to focused, distraction-free skill acquisition. No phone, no email. Just the craft. The project focus. Don't just learn to code. Build an app. Don't just learn to write. Start a newsletter. You need a vessel for your learning. Fail faster. In your 20s, your reputation is low. You can afford to fail. Launch the business and let it crash. The lesson you learn from a failed business is worth more than an MBA. Remember, in your 20s, you are not paid for what you know. You are paid for how fast you can figure it out. Now we move to the multiplier. Stage 3. You can have the runway and you can have the skills. But if you are surrounded by time vampires, you will fail. Time vampires are the friends who are comfortable. They are the ones who say, "Why are you working so hard? Come out with us. You're changing." Good. You should be changing. You need to engineer your social circle. I call this the rule of 33%. 1. The lower 33%, mentees. Spend 33% of your time helping people who are a few steps behind you. This solidifies your knowledge. Teaching is the best way to learn. 2. The middle 33%, peers, rivals. Spend 33% of your time with people on your exact level who are also grinding. These are your sparring partners. You push each other. You share tactics. You need friendly competition. 3. The upper 33%, mentors. Spend 33% of your time with people who are decades ahead of you. How to get a mentor. The script. Most people mess this up. They send a DM saying, "Hey, can I pick your brain?" Or, "Will you mentor me?" The answer is always no. You are asking for their time, their most valuable asset, and giving nothing back. Here is the Wealth Architect script for landing a mentor. Hi name. I've been following your work on project. I noticed you seem to be having an issue with specific problem. I have spent the last 48 hours building a solution mock-up research doc to solve this for you. It's attached here. No strings attached, just wanted to help. Do you see the difference? You didn't ask. You gave. You proved your competence. You showed you are not a drain, but a battery. Do this 10 times, and you will have a mentor. And that mentor will open doors you didn't even know existed. If you execute stages 1, 2, and 3 by your late 20s, you will be a dangerous individual. You have cash in the bank. You have high leverage skills. You have a powerful network. Now, you execute stage 4, asymmetric risk. This is the time to swing big. In your 50s, you have a family, a mortgage, health issues. You have to be conservative. In your 20s, you have asymmetry. What is an asymmetric bet? It is a bet where the downside is capped. You lose a little time or money, but the upside is uncapped. You change your life forever. Starting a YouTube channel is asymmetric. Downside, you waste 50 hours. Upside, you build $1 million brand, buying a risky but cash-flowing business is asymmetric. Moving to a new country to tap into an emerging market is asymmetric. Most people do the opposite. They take symmetric. That's like a corporate job where the upside is a 3% raise and the downside is getting fired, or they take negative asymmetry. That's like driving drunk or getting into consumer debt, the pivot. Somewhere between 27 and 30. You take your skills and your runway, and you stop selling your time. You start buying equity. You start your own firm. You negotiate for profit share. You transition from being a laborer to being an architect. I want to close with a visualization. Imagine 2 timelines. Timeline A, you drifted. You took the easy job. You sought validation. You bought the car. You spent your weekends escaping reality. You turn 30. You are tired. You are in debt. You have no hard skills, just experience in a job that AI is about to replace. You look in the mirror and you see regret. You realize that the freedom of your 20s was actually just a loan. And now the bill is due. Timeline B, you sacrificed. You lived cheap. You studied while they partied. You worked for free to learn from masters. You built the skills. You turn 30. You are financially bulletproof. You wake up when you want. You work on what you want. You have the respect of people you admire. You look in the mirror and you see pride. You realize that the sacrifice of your 20s was actually an investment. And now it is paying dividends for the rest of your life. You are the author of these timelines. You are holding the pen right now. The ink is wet, but it dries fast. Don't let it dry on a page you will hate reading for the rest of your life. Write a masterpiece. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That is the feeling of growth. I have a challenge for you. It is not easy. The false path audit. I want you to go to the comments. I want you to write down one thing you are currently doing just to impress other people. A job, a purchase, a habit. And then, write down one hard skill you commit to mastering in the next 6 months. Public declarations create accountability. I will be down there reading them. And if you are ready to stop drifting and start designing, subscribe to the channel. We are building a community of architects, and we need you in the room. This is Wealth Architect. Class dismissed.